Hello, everybody. I hope you're feeling energized and ready for today's session as we explore a crucial intersection of body positivity, self-love, and your fitness journey. What we're going to be trying to do is foster some better ideas around the body positivity, self-image, self-acceptance, and how that all intertwines in your own fitness journey. So, what is body positivity? We're going to dive right into it. It's the heart of our discussion, obviously. It's about embracing and celebrating your own uniqueness of your own body, your own journey, and understanding that they're incredible vessels capable of incredible feats. And I've just made a brief list on some of the things that I wanted to focus on. So, research has shown positive correlation between body positivity and overall mental well-being. So, holding that self-image in high regard is proven to assist in that. Realizing that you are on this journey and it is your own. Each one is different, and diversity does matter. Studies link and show exposure to diverse body images will improve your own internal body satisfaction. So we'll talk about this a little bit later when it comes to social media and things like that, some strategies, but realizing that those inputs need to represent the whole plethora and realize that there can potentially be some unrealistic standards, how to identify those and how to appropriately reject those because they do act as a negative input to your own mental well-being. And the understanding that the focus should be on long-term healthy habits. That is the goal that we've all agreed upon to go throughout life with minimal assistance, with the most production and the longest effects. So let's talk about the impacts of social media. And obviously, research has directly linked the two with a sense of negative body image. It's crucial to develop media literacy uh, and skills to navigate these influences appropriately. And media literacy is the ability to understand when something has been tampered with or when those filters or whichever have been applied so that you can mitigate those and the detrimental impacts that they will have on your own mental well-being. Understanding that the goal of social media is to just maintain user base for as long as possible. They've proven this through research that user shown more negative inputs is going to engage for a longer amount of time, and realizing that this is a physiological or psychological trait that the companies are going to use to increase your usage of their product, and to realize that you need to reset and resist those comparisons so that they don't have a negative effect on you. So that is going to allow you to move through your social media from time to time and prune as necessary and make sure you're meeting all professed criteria. Having the literacy, appropriate amount of diversity, and body images and informational inputs to enhance the psychological effect of the usage, which will help with limiting it and maintaining productivity in consumption, and keeping your literacy above board. Some of the things that you want to focus on when it comes to your own fitness journey are the psychological aspects. The biggest one is the comparison pitfalls, holding yourself to that of another, especially when on social media, can be detrimental to one's health, mental health, and hinder progress. And realizing again that the majority of these profiles are filled with altered images, and again being mindful of the diversity and being able to set realistic expectations when it comes to your own journey, and realizing that you do have your own body and you are on your own journey, and that requires you to be more mindful of the content that you're going to be consuming. Having a mindful practice of tracking your progress is going to be vital to the success of your long-term self-image. If you're able to stack wins over time, especially over a long time, then you're going to create a little bit more momentum, and that's going to allow you to be more consistent. So breaking those hurdles down into appropriate SMART goals along the way so that you can achieve the long-term goals is going to be pertinent. Realizing that along this process, you're enhancing your psychological resilience and becoming more resolve in your journey and being more productive and increasing the likelihood of you accomplishing your goal. But additionally, being more resilient to the environment that you find yourself day in and day out, whether that be work, relationship, anything, you will be building that psychological resilience through this long-term self-care plan um, for your own body positivity, mental well-being, and rely more so on the intrinsic motivation that continues you on your own journey without having to rely on those external factors. So, how do we do that when we're focusing on fitness? Some of the things that are so closely correlated are self-love and fit, and they really do play a part hand in hand. The positivity reinforcement, following a program, being productive and progressive with that program, has positive psychological reinforcement factors. Being enhancing that mind-body connection, working in the gym on yourself, developing stronger neural connections, being more in tune with your body when it hurts and when it doesn't hurt, what hurt actually feels like, and understanding the depths of hurt, dealing with mental hurt inside of the gym in an appropriate manner, and using that as an appropriate place to off gas or deplete some stress reserves, and cultivating gratitude, the ability to achieve those long-term goals, and having the ability, the health and wellness that we carry out through day in, day out, hopefully, and then the work that goes into that. Um, should be grateful for those opportunities every single day, and improving your compassion towards yourself and those around you, and realizing that the way you talk to yourself is going to be held in high regard towards your own self. If you are consistently punishing yourself for small losses and failing to reward yourself for small victories or even big victories, that is going to cause issue, especially when you start comparing yourself to others along the way, seeing their wins celebrated through social media or however, and realizing that you're not doing the same, or comparing yourself to that other person and not realizing that you're on the same path of success, and realizing that the success might look different to everybody, whether it be weight loss, a non-aesthetic achievement, getting off a daily medication, improving energy levels day to day, having better cognitive function, feeling less depressed, or in a better mood in general. These achievements should be celebrated just along with any other aesthetic driven goal, and this is going to all help produce more positive mindset. So building that positive mindset practice, it's going to be the cornerstone of your journey. It's what the entire focus is on, building the positive mindset. The jokes can be had about the end of a relationship is the beginning of a new fitness journey, or a myriad of other scenarios, which it leads with a good bit of therapy coming in the form of fitness. And that is because of the resolve that it creates, the resilience that it creates day in and day out, learning how to train, pour into oneself, and be better, all comes along with building that positive mindset. So setting out appropriate mindful practices day in and day out of creating a positive mindset during your fitness journey is going to be vital to your success. How you wake up, what your affirmations look like, what your strategy is for creating a good mindful practice, setting appropriate goals and framing them in appropriately and in appropriate time frames. Setting will allow you to further enhance that positive mindset, allow you to identify which affirmations are going to work for you best and when they're going to be most appropriate if you do find yourself in that hole day in and day out, how to get yourself out of those by utilizing the affirmations that are most appropriate, whether it's I'm a hard worker, I'm strong, I'm resilient, I can do this again, I've done it before, get back up, visualizing your success, understanding what your place is in that journey, and visualizing where you are in that journey and how close you are to the end versus where you started, and that growth over time and what that looks like, and really breaking that down into a visual basis helps you further develop that positive mindset and developing expert level self-help, self-talk strategies. How you talk to yourself, again, it's going to be how you feel about yourself. And if you are not rewarding yourself, if you're not treating yourself well, that's going to manifest throughout your life. So focus on embracing your unique body and realizing that it's a powerful concept. We all have our superpowers, our abilities, and we shouldn't take granted of those abilities, our traits, positive character traits. We all have our weaknesses as well. And these are all physical and psychological benefits and limitations, and we need to be accepting of each one of those within our own journey. Realize this is all based in long-term goal setting, long-term self-acceptance. So focusing on body neutrality, realizing that this is where you're at in your journey and that you'll continue to improve, which allows you to make mistakes along the way, learn from them, and better prepare yourself for the future. Understanding that these are psychological benefits that you're gonna receive along the way, and accept them appropriately, and reject the majority of your external validation, realizing where those areas are going to be helpful and where those areas are not going to be helpful. So if you notice that there are some external factors that are not playing in appropriately to your mental well-being, limiting those if necessary. If you need data points, that's understandable, but figure out a strategy to collect those data points without having it impact your own mental well-being. And again, prune the ones that aren't necessary and develop a holistic approach, something that pours into you, whether that be a restorative practice, herbs and supplements, any type of holistic treatment, even some type of body treatment. All of those things have been approved and well researched to show positive results when it comes to body positivity. So literally fake it until you make it. And this is how you overcome setbacks. So this is the last thing that we're going to address, and it's the inevitability that we'll all have setbacks. And this is where you will find that you develop those resilience building techniques. And this is all a part of growth. So it's if you have these tools in your tool bag, it'll allow you to overcome those setbacks and breeze through the next ones even easier. They're all different. Some are tougher than others, but if you're able to build these techniques, they'll help you in the long run. So that resistance technique is going to be it's going to be building as you go through these challenges, having a mindset of growth, realizing that you're only going to get better out of this. Each one of these challenges that come up, each one of these setbacks that comes up, on the other side, you will be a better person for it. And utilizing specific times of reflection along the way, allocate time for you to sit and analyze those situations and realize what was effective, what led up to, what was the resolution, and what those highs and lows really look like. So you understand your depth more appropriately and can take stock appropriately and develop those strategies to stay on the top end as much as possible. Developing strong social support networks. This is friends and family, your loved ones, your love languages, surrounding those with support those most appropriately, not overloading yourself with those that need you for support, and keeping all of those factors in mind, and understanding what your depth is in those areas can help you maintain an appropriate gas tank. If you're pouring too much into others, that can limit your own well-being and bring you down. So we all have our limits. One of the things I like to talk about is the Dunbar's number. It's around 150 relationships that you can handle at one point in time if you're a very social person. Even that number applies to most. So those are the kind of relationships that we can handle day in and day out at that level. Once it gets out and beyond there, it really gets hard to keep track and maintain productivity. And so if you find yourself in a situation where you are having a lot of superficial relationships, perhaps it's necessary to prune those as well and bring it back down to those close personals and acquaintances and those that pour into you. Realizing that this is all a process of reframing your narrative and being more deliberate in your positivity and understanding that you are in charge of your journey. This is going to empower you and make you impervious to those setbacks, and it's an integral part of the transformative process. These are some of the core techniques that I wanted to go over that helped a lot of folks get out of those setbacks along the way. And this is something that I think plays into everybody's hand eventually at some point. Day in and day out, having that positive mindset, it's going to be your superpower. It's going to be what gets you in and out the door, in and out the gym more often than not. The realization that you are on your own journey and your progress is your own has so many different positive mental. And I hope you guys aren't taking this lightly. And I really hope this was helpful and informative on some levels. If you guys have any questions about any of this kind of stuff or ever want to chat, please feel free to reach out. I included my Calendly link in this for 30-minute appointments. If you want to schedule one of those, I'd be happy to chat with you. Make sure you put some notes in there on what exactly you want to cover, and I'll be happy to do so. I appreciate you guys absorbing this content. We'll be back next week with some more. So this is week 8 of our 12 weeks together, and I look forward to seeing y'all again soon. Thanks.